Hi, everybody. I wanted to come to you guys today, and I think I have a message that's really going to encourage you. I'm sure you've heard messages before on the Red Sea that God parted the sea for the Israelites to escape captivity from Egypt. But God is really wanting me to dissect that story. And I believe we are in that moment now, guys. I believe there's many Red Sea parting moments, but I believe we're about to see the biggest Red Sea parting moment on a personal level, within our own lives, and also on a corporate level for America, for the world. I believe that the Lord is getting ready to do that. And I've been talking about this, but I really feel like I'm supposed to dissect the story of the Exodus and really explain to you. And I believe this word's really going to encourage you today. So I'm going to read a little bit more of the Bible than I typically do because I really want you to grasp this story. And I think there's so many parts of the story that we really have not thought about that will encourage you for now. So let me read this to you guys. So I'm going to start at Exodus 13:13, starting at verse 17. It says that the Pharaoh finally let the people go. And we know, most of you guys know the story, that the Israelites had been in captivity as slaves in Egypt for a very, very long time. And the Lord sent Moses to tell them, let my people go. Moses didn't feel equipped, but the Lord gave him strength and he did it. He kept going back to Pharaoh and he's saying, God says, let his people go or this will happen. Or this will happen. And he would send plagues, he would send famines. He even, the last thing that he did is that he said, if you do not let my people go, tell the Pharaoh, if you don't let my people go, that I will kill the firstborn son of every Egyptian family. And Pharaoh did not do it. He did not do it, and that happened. And then at that point, he finally said, okay, enough is enough. I will let the people go. And the Pharaoh let them go. But I wanted to read a little bit more into the story. And really, I want you to listen and apply this to what's going on in your life today. So when the Pharaoh finally let the people go, God did not lead them down the main roads through Philistines' territory, even though that was the shortest route in the promised land. God said, if my people are faced with a battle, they might change their minds and return to Egypt. God planned. God knew some of them would struggle with their faith. And he made them do a longer route so they would not return back to Egypt and they would see the parting of the Red Sea. So God led them in a roundabout way through the wilderness towards the Red Sea. Thus, the Israelites left Egypt like an army ready for battle. And then the Lord, he sent them provision and he sent them protection. It said the Lord went ahead of them. This is verse 21. And he guided them through the day with a pillar of cloud. And he provided light at night with a pillar of fire. Talk about provision. Can you imagine being there, knowing that God is with you and he sent an angel to send this pillar cloud and this pillar of light and fire to guide you? This cloud was out in front of the people, and that's where they knew where to go. They were following it. And it also created light at night for safety. This allowed them to travel day and night, and the Lord did not remove the pillar of cloud of fire from its place in front of the people. Chapter 14, I'm going to start at verse 2. Oh, he is telling Moses to order the Israelites to turn back and camp between the shore. And so he told them where to camp also. Then Pharaoh will think the Israelites are confused and trapped in the wilderness. And God said, once again, because he hardened Pharaoh's heart before to bring about this miracle, I will harden the Pharaoh's heart and he will chase after you. Wouldn't you say, Lord, why do you want the Pharaoh to chase after us? Don't you guys feel like at times you feel like you have a breakthrough? You feel like you're, oh my gosh, we're here, things are changing. And then all of a sudden you feel like that things are hitting you again. Warfare's coming. Things are going against the promise of the Lord. But God knew this was going to happen and he used it for his miracle and for his plan. And so it says that he hardened the Pharaoh's heart again, and the Pharaoh did chase after them. But God said, I will do this then the Egyptians will know that I am the Lord. And the Israelites camped where they were told. And sure enough, the Pharaoh heard down in chapter 14, verse 5. When the word reached the Pharaoh, he said, what have we done letting all the Israelite slaves get away? And so he sent out his chariots and horses and Egypt's best army to go after them again. And they chased after them with all the forces of the army. And then it says in verse 10, the Pharaoh approached and the people of Israel looked up and panicked. They panicked once again. They had the angel. God told them the path to take. He told them what this was going to happen. I'm going to harden the Pharaoh's heart to show that I am God and I will get all the glory. And they will know that I have truly done it. And yet they're still afraid. And they said to Moses, they were questioning Moses. They said, why did you bring us out of here to die in the wilderness? Weren't there enough graves in Egypt? What have you done to us? And I'm sure Moses was struggling that time as a leader. He's thinking, God, can I truly trust you? Because this looks bad. And my people are questioning me. Can I keep going? And they were saying to Moses, it's better to be a slave in Egypt than a corpse in the wilderness. But Moses told the people, because he trusted his God, he said, do not be afraid, just stand still and watch the Lord rescue you today. The Egyptians you see today will never be seen again, and the Lord himself will fight for you, but you must stay calm. That's a word for you today. The Lord will fight for you. You must stay calm. And some translations say you must stand still. And then God, this is the action, Exodus 14:14. That there, God called Moses out of his faith to take an action. And almost every time, in order for us to receive what God has promised us, there is an action that is needed. God uses people to bring about miracles and bring about the blessings of the Lord. So he said, Moses, why are you crying out to me? Tell the people, keep moving. So I know you're afraid. I know that they've shown up. The Egyptian soldiers have shown up, and this looks bad. This looks bad, but keep moving. And he said, now it is time to raise your hand over the sea and divide the water so the Israelites can walk through the middle onto dry ground. And then God says it again. He says, I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians, and they will charge in after the Israelites. And my great glory will be displayed through the Pharaoh and his troops and the chariots and the charioteers. Wouldn't you have said, God, come on, we're here. You've hardened, it took forever for us to be released from captivity. And now that we are, you take us on a long route. So the Pharaoh's heart will be hardened again. You know that would cause him to come after us, and we're going to have faith again. God was building their faith, guys. He was building their endurance. He was building their trust. So God would get all the glory, the honor, and the praise for what was about to take place. Think about this. Apply this to your life. Guys, if it was easy, it wouldn't be a miracle. If it was easy, God would not get all the glory. God sometimes allows things to get really bad before they get better. And then you will know it is only him. And through these miracles and the breakthroughs that come, that people know it was truly God. And many will get saved, and they will turn back to God because they will see that God did it for you and he can do it for them. And they will know that God is the only one that could have performed this for you. So again, God will get all the glory because this has happened. And then I'm going to go down to verse 19. Then the angel of God who'd been leading the people in Israel moved to the rear of the camp. So that pillar cloud moved from the front that was leading them to the back to protect them. And darkness fell, and the cloud turned into fire, lighting up the night. But the Israelites did not approach each other all night. That's a miracle in itself, that they didn't try to overtake the Israelites at night. And then Moses raised his hand over the sea, and Lord opened up the pathway through the waters with a strong east wind. And then so they're going through the Red Sea, it's open. And then the Egyptians saw them, and God hardened that Pharaoh's heart. And he chased after him. Don't you think if you saw the miracle, everything that's happened, everything that the Lord said, okay, if you do this, this is going to happen. And it did. At that point, as a Pharaoh and his army would say, okay, God is truly with them. I need to leave them alone. But they didn't. They chased them when the miracle was literally happening, when the Red Sea was open and the waters, it says, were standing on both sides. And there was this dry path. You know that's only God. And yet they chased them anyway. And so God told Moses, raise your staff again. And when he did, when all the Israelites were safely at the other side, then the seas closed again, and it killed every single Egyptian that was after them. Wow. That is absolutely amazing. And then I want to go down to verse 31. When the people of Israel saw the mighty power of the Lord had unleashed against the Egyptians, they were in awe of God. They were in awe of God. And they put their faith in Lord in the Lord and his servant Moses. Guys, I think about how different this story would be if Moses did not have faith, if Moses did not believe. He had a lot of pressure to not believe. He had everyone saying, this is not going to happen. We don't believe it. We're going to die here. Why are you doing this? They were questioning him. In fact, it talks about earlier, it describes Moses, that Moses had a speech impediment. And he said, God, I don't even speak well. How are you going to use me? Boy, God qualifies the people that seem disqualified all the time. God qualifies those people. God uses the least likely to bring about his purposes. But just think about it. If Moses had not had that faith, guys, he, that one man, stood in faith. And because of that, his people were saved. Could that be you? Could you be that one person that God has raised up to keep the faith when everybody feels like they're drowning? You know, another thing I like about this story is it shows our humanity. You think about it, even Jesus, before, when he knew the plan for him to die on the cross, he was crying out to God and he wept and he said, Lord, do I have to do this? Do I have to do this? You know, I think it's very easy for Christians to say, well, you need to have joy. If you don't have joy, you're not trusting Jesus. If you have any doubt, then boy, that's a sin. Guys, we can't stay in doubt. And the joy of the Lord is our strength. But guys, we are human and we operate in the flesh. And it is okay to cry out to God. It's okay to say, God, why? God, I'm tired. Guys, I've had those moments lately. I'm not going to lie. Or God, you've said you're going to do this, and yet I'm still here. But guys, the only thing I want to encourage you today, the only thing you cannot do is give up. If you give up, you will not see the salvation of the Lord. You will not see the miracles of the Lord. You will not see the blessings. That's the only thing that you cannot do. If you're struggling and one day you're crying and you're distraught and you're laying in bed and you're weary and you're tired, that's okay. But don't stay there. You cannot afford to give up. I can assure you, if you do give up, you will never see the taste and see the goodness of the Lord of the land of the living. So keep fighting, keep pressing. Know it is okay to ask God, to even question God, to even be angry at God. He's not afraid of any of that. But then you pick yourself back up and you continue to fight, because you could be the very one that makes the difference, that stays in faith when everybody else is struggling. So I hope this word encouraged you. And I want to also read you the last verse of how the Israelites, they thanked God. They praised God for what he did. And after you do get that breakthrough, receive the miracles of God, and God gets you through your wilderness journey, I want you to do this very thing. Exodus 15. It says, I will sing to the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. He has hurled both the horse and the rider into the sea. The Lord is my strength and my song. He is giving me victory. He will give you victory. This is my God, and I will praise him. My father's God, and I will exalt him. The Lord is a warrior. Yahweh is his name. Guys, they were praising him. They were thanking him. They were giving him all the glory for what he has done. So I encourage you, do not give up. If you struggle one day and you need to take it to God, he is not afraid of the struggle. He is not afraid of the tears. He is not afraid of the anger. You don't offend God. You're being real. You're being transparent. But the Lord, he loves you too much to leave you that way. Do not give up. You will see the salvation of the Lord, and he will fight for you. He will fight for you, but you must stay calm. So I hope this word touched you. I hope it gave you a fresh perspective on the Exodus, and that you will see that salvation, Lord, and he will part those Red Seas at the exact right time. And he allows things to happen on the journey to strengthen you, to equip you, to guide you, but he will not fail you. I love you all. Have a great rest of your week.